This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's get back to the story because I think, and I want to make sure I got this right. Does this sound right? December 10th, 1982. This is when you wrestled Kamala.
It sounds about right. Yeah.
And it would have been at the Riverside Centroplex in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
Now, Kamala, I know a lot of our younger listeners remember the WWF run, but Kamala, from memory, I believe, was sort of a Jerry Jarrett Memphis creation, and he had his own style, to be sure. Did you know anything about the Kamala persona or just what you'd seen in the magazines?
Just what I'd seen in the magazines, but I knew when the referee said, hey, Kamala uses, the big chop, we want to get him over strong. That's all they said. I knew what my job was. Get him over strong meant take the biggest ass whipping that you could possibly take with what he's dishing out offensively.
And I misspoke earlier. I said it was December 10th. It's actually October 12th. I got my dates backwards, but October 12th, you take the big chop with Kamala. Is this in a time where I know everything was quote unquote called in the ring? I get that, but do they still have separate dressing rooms for quote unquote baby faces and heels?
Absolutely.
So the first time you actually see Kamala, the former Sugar Bear, is actually in front of a crowd.
Absolutely.
And he's the veteran. So if there is going to be something that needs to be called, and I don't know what that would have been in a Kamala match, he's the guy who's doing it. And you're the young buck. So you're just listening, right?
Not a word, not a syllable was uttered
From him or you.
Nope. I just went with everything that he did to me. I tried to make look as violent as it possibly could. It was actually, if I wasn't so nervous and so enthralled that I was there, when he started slapping his stomach, I would have probably busted out laughing. If it had been 10 years later, we'd have probably been having a running dialogue. I might have beat my belly. I don't know. Who knows? But at that point in time, it was just like, and it was so smooth and it was snug, but it wasn't stiff. He wasn't hurting me or abusing me anyway, but he was jarring me pretty good. And he had to. He was 6'8", 350 pounds.
And this character he's a savage. I mean, he's supposed to beat the shit out of you.
I was on board 100%.
So you finish that first match, you come back through the curtain. This is a different time. It's not like Vince McMahon or somebody like that is on headset, and it's a standing ovation or hugs all around. You come back through the curtain. What happens next?
Absolutely nothing. Nobody said a word to me. The referee that just had the match came over. He said, good job. You don't have interviews tomorrow. Now this would have made it. This was Tuesday, Baton Rouge. Next day was TV. He said, you don't have interviews, so you don't have to be there until, I want to say he said 4:00 or something.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It was TV shows. They taped 2 shows the next day at the Irish McNeil's Boys Club in Shreveport, Louisiana. And you're going to work 2 matches on the same day. So this is October 13th. You're going to be teaming with Ted Allen to take on Jim Duggan and Ted DiBiase. And you'll team with Ted Allen to take on Tim Horner and Colonel Buck Robley, which is a name we haven't spent a lot of time talking about. But tell me how you wind up connected the next day at TV with your old pal Ted. Was he already in the territory, or did he just show up for TV like you were?
You know what? I want to say he got a call that he was finishing up, and they wanted him to make that TV. And there were no cell phones. He didn't know where I was staying. He didn't know where I was. I didn't even know where I was staying. It was such a dump. But he just showed up. I mean, they booked him and he walked in, and I've never been so glad to see anybody in my life. It was like, wow, my long lost brother had showed up, and I don't even have a brother. So he walked in, he said, I've been hearing through the grapevine, you've been doing good, da, 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 da. We were partners that night. And to be honest with you, I don't even remember the match.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.